Let's make my April's candle of the month. You might want to get comfortable for this one because this one might be one of my longer videos because I had to make a lot of embeds for this one. First, I poured my jars with my candle wax, and while these were setting up, I started working on my embeds. My first embed is one that should look familiar to you because I just made my bunny butts wax melts in the last week or so, but I scented those in lemongrass sage. These are getting scented in butt naked. Everyone who smells this fragrance loves it, and it's always a surprise to them because they never know what butt naked is going to smell like. But I realized recently that I've never made a candle in this fragrance, so I thought this would be perfect. If you're wondering what butt naked smells like, it's a medley of Granny Smith apples, honeydew melon, strawberries, and pears with hints of spice. It actually smells really, really good. After I filled in those pink parts of the mold, I am pouring some white wax. And then while this is setting up, I'm working on my next embed. So I grabbed this little flower mold and I'm just painting the insides of the flowers with some green colorants. And then I'm pouring some white wax into these molds. And again, I had every intention of just filling each one by one, but I immediately saw that this was going to take way too much time. So I decided to just pour it all over the top and then just use my scraper to make sure that the wax went into all the cavities. And I know I make a mess sometimes with these kinds of molds, and it's okay if my wax goes over the edge. It doesn't bother me at all because I just scrape it up and put it back into my container, and then I can melt it back down and reuse it so it doesn't get wasted. While my flowers were setting up, I'm doing the same thing with these tiny little carrots, and again pouring it all over the top of the mold, and I am scraping it off intentionally just to make sure that it's nice and even on top. So it looks like I'm just, pouring it onto the table, and that is what I'm doing. I'm just removing the excess right onto the table so I can just scrape it up. By this time, my little bunny butts had set up, so I am unmolding these. And I was making a lot more than just this one mold that you see in the video. And then I unmolded those little flowers. And then I unmolded those carrots and clean up that excess wax on the table. And the previous day I had poured a bowl of this green wax, and I made sure I let it set up and get really hard so I could grate it. So here I am just grating this big chunk of wax. Every time I grate wax for a video, I always get a lot of comments telling me how there are better ways to grate the wax. And maybe down the road I will get something else, like a food processor or something, to grate the wax. But honestly, this works fine for me. So next I grab my candles and I'm pouring just a little bit of green wax on the very top. And then I am starting to place my embeds. So I am placing the bunny butts right into the green wax. This way they will not move. And then I'm grabbing a handful of that green wax that I had grated, and I am sprinkling this all around the little bunny butt on top of the candle. I wanted this to kind of look like grass. So I'm just spreading that all around on the top of the candle. And then I'm placing a couple of those carrots and one of those flowers. And then I repeated this for all of my candles. And then I grabbed my wick cutters and I'm cutting the wicks on all these candles. And this is what the final candles look like. They look like a little bunny with his little butt up in the air digging in a garden. with some carrots and a flower. These will arrive shrink wrapped, and the grass, the carrots, and the flour on top are just sitting on top of the candle, and they are loose. So these will get, all mixed up in shipping. So when you receive your candle in the mail, just make sure it's standing upright, and then be very careful when you open it so all those toppings don't come out of the candle. If you are already subscribed to my candle of the month, these will ship out to you on April 1st. If you do not want to subscribe and you just want to purchase one of these candles, you can pre-order them on my website right now at eartherella.com. But these will not ship out until April 1st. So if you want to make sure you can get one of these, you'll want to pre-order or subscribe to my candle of the month. Thank you so much for watching.